So are you wrong, or are you not giving all of the hard truth to America?
It's a lie. That is a pure, outright lie. All you have to do is read the bill, Harris.
And I'm reading, and I am reading, Senator. You asked me a direct question, so I'm going to answer you. I'm just asking questions.
I'm just answering questions. If you think I'm going to roll over, I've been at this for 40 years. Harris, are you scared we're going to do something good that will help our country?
Are you kidding?
Exactly,
Don't make
Harris.
this personal. So
I never dodge a question.
Either said, let's roll the tape. Let's roll the tape.
Let me give you an answer.
What's up, you guys? And those of you that follow me here on the channel know that we're hearing the Stimulus Reconciliation Bill, which is now known as the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. It's supposed to be passing this week. And with everything going on in Congress, Senator Joe Manchin the past couple days has been almost every single news outlet making interviews, letting people know about the current status of them passing this bill. Well, you guys, I've got some video footage for you. Things got a little intense on Fox News. Wait till you see it. I'm going to get you the latest. This is your breaking news, stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, take a look at these headlines coming out, you guys, on this one. Fox News anchor loses it when Manchin questions her patriotism. Joe Manchin pressed by Harris Faulkner on Inflation Reduction Act. I won't roll over to the far left, Manchin says. And take a look, you guys. Fox News anchor Harris Faulkner briefly lost it during a contentious interview with Senator Joe Manchin on Tuesday, taking strong issues with the centrist senator asking her if she was afraid of Democrats doing something good for America. And you guys, I'm going to share with you, this one was by far one of the most intense ones I've seen. Joe Manchin has been doing tons of interviews, but in this one, seems to start off kind of cordial and friendly. However, some of the questions being pressed, she's saying your information's wrong. What do you say about this? And he says, you're wrong. And they start exchanging. Things get a little bit more intense until, yeah, it gets to the place where they're saying, listen, you're starting to make it personal, and I'll let you guys see it for yourself and let me know your thoughts. Definitely being pressed on this, and he's getting this left and right, and that is because there's a lot of people saying that this Inflation Reduction Act is actually going to add to inflation. And if there is a reduction, it's not going to be until a course of over a decade. They're saying over the course of the next couple years, this might actually increase inflation and make things worse for American people. So we will see, you guys. Now, we're hearing that right now. If you missed my last video, check it out. All eyes are on Kyrsten Sinema. Joe Manchin right now is in negotiations to try to get her on board, to get support to pass through this bill, to get it finalized this week, to begin the reconciliation process, to have it all done by those midterm elections. They want to get this done before election time so it's fresh in the minds of voters before they hit the polls, because we're hearing if they do not, right now, you're going to hear it mentioned, Biden's approval rating is down in the 30s, and that does not spell anything good for the Democratic Party in these elections. Right now, Democrats have full control of Congress, so they can pull off the reconciliation process, but we're hearing a red wave is likely going to be coming if they do not pull through on this bill, executive actions, provisions of the past that have been promised. It's likely going to be curtains for Democrats unless they can get this done. So a lot hinging on this bill in this moment this week. I'm going to keep you up to date, but you guys, let's dive into the video footage so you can see it for yourself. Now, before we dive into this video footage, do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the content, smash the like button for me. Just takes a second, helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's free. All you got to do is very quickly hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I'll let you know about everything unfolding in Congress with our economy, stimulus legislation, and if you got any specific questions, hop onto Instagram. And if you want to get access to every single stimulus check across the nation, people think that there's just the 3 that pass federally. That's not it. There's state, city, and county checks as well, but people don't know about them, and they're missing out because they're only available for a limited amount of time. You got to be eligible. You got to know. Some cases you got to apply. I'm going to make sure that you don't miss out. I'm assembling a massive list right now. We're approaching 100 different programs. So if you want to get access to that, go to www.reliefroadmap.com. Put in your email once the list is ready. I'm going to be mass emailing everybody, letting them know to check out the list and see all the checks in the nation. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and check out this video footage. Things are going to get a little intense with Senator Joe Manchin.
The fate of a massive Democratic tax and spending bill was announced last week by Senators Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer. Still hangs in the balance, though. Moderate Democrat Senator Kyrsten Sinema has not yet said whether she will support it. A lot of questions looming over whether the package Democrats are calling the Inflation Reduction Act will actually help American families struggling with rising prices or hurt them. A Wall Street Journal op-ed argues the Inflation Reduction Act is an insult to used car salesmen adding like that lemon sitting at the back of the lot. It's giving a little touch-up, a fresh coat of paint, a reduced price tag, and a bright new description. But it's still the same car. In Focus now, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin. Great to have you in Focus today.
Oh, it's finally good to be with you, Harris. I know we've been talking about this for a while. It's so nice to be with you.
Well, thank you. And we have been talking about this for a while. And in fact, you know what? Let's start there. How did this deal come about so quickly and so quietly? Because you were a holdout like Kyrsten Sinema.
Well, I wasn't a holdout. I was basically opposed to the BBB at $3.5 trillion. And when it came down to it last December, I just couldn't do it. And I was just up front and told him I can't be done. And I can't get there, so that's over. But I always wanted to do something I could for my country, and this is all about my country. It's not about my politics or someone else's politics or my friends on the Republican side or my friends on the Democrat side or whoever's upset with me. It had nothing to do about any of us. This is about what can we do for the country. And right now, inflation is the greatest threat that we have. It's hurting every West Virginian, I can assure you, at the gas pump, at the food store, and their energy bills, and just their daily lives. And if we have a chance, and I've said this all along, if I ever had a chance to have an energy policy that was balanced and we could basically make sure we're producing more energy for what we have rather than going around the world asking other people to produce for us, shouldn't we do that? Isn't that something we all wanted? And that's what we got out of this. It's a great bill.
And I've read the part about what West Virginia could see in terms of energy. We'll get into that in a second, but I want to hit what you said because you are absolutely right. Everybody's focused on inflation right now. Every poll shows it. So, I'm looking at the Penn-Wharton budget model, which you, Senator, have been known to watch. It examined the details of the Schumer-Manchin deal. And actually, it said something very different than you just said. It said that the impact on inflation, this is a quote, the impact on inflation is statistically indistinguishable from zero through 2031. Penn-Wharton modelers are saying, we don't agree with those who think deficit reduction will lead in a straight line to lower inflation. But that's what the Democrats claim for their bill. So both things can't be true. And this is something that they're studying. So are you wrong, or are you not giving all of the hard truths to Americans about what this is going to cost them in terms of inflation?
Let's say maybe they're wrong. Okay, there's other ones that said absolutely different than that. Moody's has said different. And you have the bipartisan budget policies. They've said, Maya McGinnis and her group came out. We had 17 Nobel laureates last year when I said, inflation is real, it's going to be here, and it's going to hurt us immensely. They said, oh, no, it's going to be transitory. And 17 of the brightest in the country were
So
wrong.
let me ask you specifically what cuts inflation in this bill.
Let me ask you this. How in the world could it be inflation when you're cutting? My Republican friends always said, we got to start paying down debt. I've been a budget hawk my whole life. We're paying down $300 billion. You're saying massive expenses? $3.5 trillion in BBB was massive expenses.
You asked me a direct question, so I'm going to answer you. So how is it not a straight line? Because I'm not saying, and even Penn-Wharton isn't saying that it won't eventually get there in a jagged line. But you know how it doesn't? Because we are cooking a higher rate of inflation right now ahead of wages. And even if everybody were to go out and get a job or 2 or 3 jobs right now, their wages can't keep up with what the cost of milk, bread, gas, so on and so forth.
Don't you think we ought to get those costs down? How you do that? By producing. You've got to produce your way out of this. You can't sit back and wait your way out of it.
So you're going to open pipelines?
Absolutely. We're going to build pipelines. We're going to do more drilling.
How are you going to sell that to the President of the United States, who on day one
it's already been sold
and
switch. Bought? It's already been. It's part of the deal. It's part of the bill. All you have to do is read the bill, Harris, and you'll see. You're not going to be able to do any more offshore wind or offshore or onshore solar and wind unless we're absolutely doing more production with drilling and extraction. It's all part of a balanced approach. We need more energy today, and we also need to invest in the energy for the future. This is a balanced approach that everyone's been talking about, but everyone's upset for whatever reason because they're afraid it's a political bill. This is not a Democrat bill. This is not a Republican bill.
All right.
This is not a green deal. This is a red, white, and blue deal, Harris. And everyone's having a hard time understanding that we can walk and chew gum and do the great thing together if we'll still start looking at our country first and quit worrying about our politics.
What they see is a senator who they thought was moderate, who might push back on some of the talk about forcing us into
Harris.
A green situation.
I have pushed back on everything.
Let's talk taxes.
And if you think I'm going to roll over, I've been at this for 40 years. I have never, ever been pushed into doing something I didn't think was right for my state or my country.
Let's talk taxes. Another criticism is that this will raise taxes. The White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, said this when asked about Biden's position. Let's watch.
He promised it wasn't going to raise taxes on anybody making less than $400,000 a year, but the Joint Committee on Taxation says that is not true.
Well, that is incorrect.
So the Joint Committee on Taxation, which you guys heralded as an effective body when you were selling the infrastructure package, is not to be trusted here.
I said it is not correct because I will give you why it's not correct, because it is incomplete.
We got to know the bottom line on taxes.
Let me tell you the bottom line on that, Harris. You want to know the bottom line? The Joint Committee on Taxation? That opinion was only written by my friends on the Republican side. It was not done by the whole Joint Committee. So that is unfair, too. So let's be accurate what we're doing here. The bottom line is, how in the world can you be raising taxes when all we're saying is the wealthiest corporations in America, 55 of them pay zero to help this great country of ours, to defend ourselves.
Well, how does this change that? Because that's
minimum,
part of the corporate
15%.
structuring.
It's
right?
a minimum of 15%. The tax rate was at 35% before 2017.
Right.
Then it went to 21%. That was a tremendous savings, but that's not good enough, I guess. All we're saying is at 15% minimum, everyone in West Virginia I know, and most people around the country, pay a 21% corporate or greater. So why can't the greatest $1 billion of revenue a year, why can't they pay at least 15% for this great country?
Are you trying to also say, because this is the part that counts. I mean, people look at corporations and they know they've got great tax accountants. Heck, they have complete departments trying to come up with ways to find loopholes and to keep and to hire people as well. I mean, let's not forget that too. But $400,000 was supposed to be the cutoff, and I'm reading, and I am reading, Senator, that it's below that now.
Who's paying any taxes? Who's paying any taxes that doesn't have a corporation that has revenue of over $1 billion a year? Not one person. Not one person, Harris. You're assuming because they'll pass that on. The companies were paying zero.
No. I'm asking a different question than you're answering. I'm saying Americans, $400,000 and below now are going to be taxed. Their taxes are going to go up.
That's a lie. That is a pure outright lie.
So their taxes are not going to go up?
Not at all. And you know one thing? How about the people that are going to be saving as far as on their Medicare, $288 billion who are paying higher prices than they should? Aren't they? They didn't even assume that in the revaluation. They didn't talk about any of that. How about if gasoline prices go down because we're producing more oil to make more gasoline?
Well, and those are going to fluctuate. Already experts are saying we could go right back up before Labor Day, but I want to hit that tax line again of $400,000. I got to hit that. Are you saying that Mitch McConnell and others in the Senate are wrong about those numbers and that Americans' taxes are not going to go up beyond that point?
Totally, absolutely wrong. Totally wrong. And here's the thing, they're looking at it through political lenses. Look at it through the American lens.
I'm just asking questions.
I'm just answering questions.
Okay.
I want to answer these questions because what you're asking and the facts you have are completely wrong.
Well, you guys are in the same chamber, so it'll be interesting when you finally get to the, to stir in the stew here, what it's really going to be like. I want to get to this. You gave some interviews over the weekend on Sunday shows, and at one point you were asked the question on whether or not you would like to see Democrats do much, much better than what they're forecast to do right now based on the numbers. 98 days away from the midterms.
Sure.
Did you dodge the question when you said so? I can work with either side.
I never dodge a question.
Either side. Let's roll the tape. Let's roll the tape.
Let me give you an answer.
Let's roll
Do you hope Democrats keep control of the House and Senate?
I think people are sick and tired of politics, Chuck, but I'm not going to predict what's going to happen.
I'm not asking you to predict.
I just want to make sure we do something good. And
what result do you want? Do you want the Democrats to keep control of the United States Senate and the House of Representatives?
I'm not making those choices or decisions on that. I'm going to work with whatever I have.
You don't care about the outcome this year?
Whatever the voters choose, I can't decide what's going to happen.
That wasn't dodgeball?
That's not a dodgeball. I'm not getting involved in the political. This is not a political piece of legislation. This is an American legislation. We need energy. We need to pay down debt. We need to accelerate our permitting process so we can build things and meet the challenges.
Yeah, but the elections are going to need some help. You've got a president whose
I am not going to make a statement on that.
Approval rating is like as low as Congress's.
Well,
I mean,
can't we all do something
you know
right?
that when you get into the 30s, no one's that popular,
Harris,
and that's
are you
president.
scared we're going to do something good to help our country and
of
someone
course
might
not.
take
My father
credit for
served. Are you kidding? Service
Well, it
is in the
sounds like you
Bible.
are.
That's what we do. We serve our fellow man and woman.
That's
of course.
exactly what I'm doing.
Don't
Exactly,
make this
Harris.
personal, because it's not. I'm simply asking that you've got a president who can't really help anybody on the campaign trail with the numbers he's rocking right now.
Well,
and
let
so
me
to
just
have
tell
you
you
say
this.
something like that, it doesn't sound supportive of your own party, and I'm asking
Let me just
why.
say this. I'm working with what I have here, and the majority party that we have is the Democratic Party. I'm working with a president who's accepted the proposal I've put forward and negotiated, which is a balanced energy policy. That's wonderful for our country. I know people who don't like the president or don't like Democrats might be upset. This is not about whether you like
All
the
right.
president or whether you like Democrats. Do you like America? Do you want us to succeed as a country? Do you want to fight inflation? This bill does it.
Real quickly, the President of the United States, do you want to see him run in 2024?
I am not talking about 2022. I'm not talking about 2024.
Okay.
I'm talking about the American bill we have,
All right.
the Inflation Reduction Act, which is a red, white, and blue bill. This is a great bill, and I wish my
Well,
friends would look at it for
When
what
we
it
get
is.
CBO scores and when we get the things on this, and if it shows that those taxes are going back, for Americans below
You tell me.
400,000,
Sure.
you got to come back. We got to talk about it.
I'm
because
happy to
that's
come
the
back
part
and
that's
talk.
really going to hurt people. Nancy
Yeah.
Pelosi on the ground in Taipei. Just a few seconds, Senator, your thoughts.
No, I think it was great what she did. I think basically we've all been there. I've been there. Mostly everybody in Congress has been there. They've been great allies. They're great working partners. And why would we not support those who support democracies and freedoms that we have? It just makes no sense to me at all. And it's not a threat. Trust me, Nancy is not a threat to China by saying that we support Taiwan. We want them to succeed, and they're great trading partners of us, and we appreciate the freedoms they love, same as we do.
Amen to all of that. Senator Joe Manchin from the great state of West Virginia. I look forward to the future conversations we will have.
Absolutely. Look the facts on that. Make sure you see the facts. And
You
see
know
who's
I'm
writing
reading.
What. Okay.
You know I
All
am.
right. Thank you.
I'm a
Harris.
recovering perfectionist. Good to
There
see
you
you.
go.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Man, so there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. A lot of back and forth, passive-aggressive comments. Man, things were a little intense, and she said she can't wait to see what unfolds and then have a follow-up interview, sounding like she does not have faith in this bill. So we will see. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this is going to help reduce inflation? It's going to be good, or is it going to spark more inflation? And we actually heard the CEO of Home Depot say he believes that Joe Manchin is a good man that has been tricked by the Democratic Party to pass another progressive bill. Man, so Joe Manchin getting a lot of flack right now. Let me know your thoughts, and we will see. I will keep you up to date every step of the way. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. That is the latest. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash the like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's free. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Any specific questions to learn about growing wealth and personal finance, more content coming on that channel as well. And also, like I said, don't miss out on any stimulus checks happening right now across the nation. Go to www.reliefroadmap.com, put in your email, get added to the wait list for the comprehensive list of all stimulus checks across the nation so you don't miss out on anything. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless.